Hey guys, how you doing? Zuki1 here, and a couple people requested this, and I guess it's the last one in the small Tomahawk lineup that Cold Steel makes, with the exception of the Tactical Hawks, which I don't really have any plans on reviewing those at this time, but this one I definitely wanted to try out because it's got a hammer pole on it, and it's got a pretty decent blade design. And I went ahead and ordered this one to kind of round out my little collection. So today we're going to put it through its paces. It's your typical Cold Steel Tomahawk, 22-inch American hickory handle. It's got a, I'm going to have to look at the specs here. Got a lot of stuff I'm trying to review. So the length is 7.5 inches, so it's pretty long. It's got a 3-inch head. It's 1055 carbon steel like all the other Tomahawks. Weighs in at 28 ounces. I didn't actually weigh this myself, so I'm just going off what they say. I'll weigh it at the house and annotate that, because sometimes, sometimes it makes a difference. The handle will make a difference too. This one actually came pretty decent. The edge was not fantastic, but it wasn't terribly bad. You could have went out and, you could have done some decent chopping with it, but I went ahead and cleaned it up. And of course, immediately after that, I dropped it on a concrete floor and put a nice chip in it. But anyways, the handle's pretty decent. Head fits pretty good. If you watch my Cold Steel, the Good, the Bad, the Ugly, I went ahead and when I received this, as well as a handful of other Tomahawks, I went ahead and did a video of these as I receive them, just to kind of show you what to look for, or what to look forward to when you get them. It's not a lot to look forward to. They're pretty rough out of the box for the most part, but honestly, it doesn't take that long to clean it up. This thing, I basically just sanded the top of the head so it fit on there pretty good, and that's all it really took. Some of them take a lot of work to get that to fit right, because the handles, they got a knot in them. Not so much a knot, but just variations in the way they're turned. These things are cheap, so you kind of got to expect that. In any case, this one's got the hammer face on it. It's a lot bigger than the Trailhawk. I didn't bring one with me. I wish I would have to kind of show. This is quite a bit bigger. So, I'll give you a little more to work with. But you got to pay for it. It's a little heavier. So, anyways, I don't want to talk too much. I'm gonna try and keep this video short. I'm going to skip through some of the stuff that I normally do with the Tomahawk, just because, I've already covered it. And if you want to watch, me do some other things with Tomahawks, check out my other videos. Pretty much everything, in any of the videos that I show with the Tomahawks, with the exception of, smashing rocks and stuff, pretty much all of them can do the same things. You can pull it off the handle, you can use it in your hand, you can carve with it, you can do a lot of different things with the Tomahawk. That's why I guess that's why I'm a Tomahawk guy. Anyways, so let's do some chopping. I've already played around with this for a while this morning, and no big surprises. This thing actually chops really good. Hey guys, Zuki1 here. I'm out here with some good friends of mine. Some of them are new. I've got the Granfers Brooks. This is the Carpenter's hatchet. I've got the Cold Steel Axe Gang hatchet, and I've got the Cold Steel Pipe Hawk. Something I've been, I can't even tell if it's in frame here. Something I've been wanting to review for a while is this guy. Of course, the little Gerber saw. And the sun was shining, it's hailing. It's just awesome. It's really nice out here. You can hear the hail hitting the tool reeds out there. Anyways, guys, just thought I'd say, get out there and have some fun, I guess. I don't know. I don't think it gets any better than this. Maybe some hot lunch. I'll have to work on that. Alright guys, see ya. Let's see how long it takes me to get through this. Alright, now I'm not a professional wood chopper. In fact, I'd normally not try and cut something like this with a tomahawk. This is wet. You can see it, there's moisture in there. I'm a little bit winded, for sure. But, you know, that's a pretty thick log. And I guess, you know, it did pretty good. I don't feel like it did terribly bad. But I tell you what, I was using every bit of this 22-inch handle. Definitely wouldn't want the handle any shorter for this kind of work. But with this heavier head, you can definitely take advantage of the length of the handle. So, alright, let's move on. Alright, let's try something that's a little more, I don't know, a little more within the realistic range of these things. About a 3-inch piece. The nice thing about carrying an axe or a tomahawk, as opposed to say a big heavy knife, and you could do this with a big heavy knife, but let's say it was colder than it is now, and this was your source of fresh water. The nice thing about an axe or a tomahawk, it's so bright out I can't even see where this thing's at. You know, you can use it to chop through ice to get to some fresh water. So you know, if this was 3 or 4 inches thick, that thing would definitely be handy to get through the ice and get you some water to boil up. So anyways, whatever. Like I said, for what it's worth. Alright, let's try this old kind of halfway rotten log. Maybe you're clearing a trail, you know, whatever. Not something you can use for firewood, but the bottom's not as rotten as the top. Now hawthorn's a pretty hard wood, and it's been used for making tool handles and things like that. I've actually got some at home that's been curing, I guess, to make some extra handles out of. So, no, it's a pretty good test. It's a little wet on the bottom. No different from any of the other tomahawks. Well, this stuff's pretty hard. Definitely usable without the handle. The nice thing about any of the hawks that have the hammer pull on the back, it gives you a little more to grip when you're using it, you know, off the handle. So I'm kind of, my preference leans toward any of the hawks that have that have the hammer on the back, just because, you know, it opens the versatility up. Save some of this for my fire. Alright, so for whatever reasons, I was playing around last night and I started kind of flattening the face back here. So I want you to take note of this. You know, I already did that. And that little ding right there is where I tested it with a chisel, a center punch. So anyways, this is a before. And I wish I would have taken all the paint off. I didn't think to. I should have stripped all the paint off so you can get a better view. I know this is pretty hard because, like I said, I already tested it with a punch. But keep in mind that this is a lot of paint and it's probably going to come off. This is painted, unlike the Trailhawk. The Trailhawk comes with a somewhat, not polished, but sanded hammer pull. This one comes with paint on it. So, anyways, just be aware of that. Put my glasses on here. Alright, well, there's no sense in abusing it, but you can see, definitely took the paint off, no big surprise there, and I don't know if my camera's going to show it, but, you know, it's done, you know, little scuff marks and some little tiny dings, nothing you wouldn't expect from beating a hammer face on a rock, so, very robust, very well tempered. Alright guys, so normally what I would do is find some natural tinder and stuff like that. I'm not going to do that today because I'm trying out some new stuff. So I'm going to make a little fire so I can cook my lunch using the cold steel pipe hawk. So anyways, this is kind of some new stuff for me. Like I said, I normally I've carried different things here and there, but just trying some new stuff that I've heard about. Other people seem to like it real well. And you know, it's good to know that you can go out in the woods and make a fire with what you find. But sometimes if you're crunched for time, or you know, you're in a bad situation and you need to get warm pretty quick, just because you can start a fire with what you find out in the woods doesn't mean you always have to rely on that. You definitely want to have those skills, that's for sure. But you know, it's kind of a neat little trick here. This is hemp cording. I'm sure some of you will recognize it, and I'm going to try it out here. And I've got some reasons why I'm playing with this. I've carried a lot of different things, whatever. But anyways, that'll be a different video. For right now, basically, I just wanted to kind of kill two birds with one stone. So I'm gonna try this stuff out, and I got here some. This is some pitchwood, cut down, nice little piece that fits in my little little can here. The can's not waterproof, and probably not the last thing I'm going to use to carry that stuff in, but I don't know. Everything's in trial stage, so in any case. If you can kind of see what I'm doing here. Kind of making a little feather stick here. Versatility of a tomahawk. You could definitely do this with an axe. Not trying to say you can't. Anyways, let me get this thing going. I can get some lunch going. I'm hungry. I almost wasn't ready for that. But once you get this stuff going, kind of a sure thing that you're going to have a good little fire going. And of course I got more pine pitch. This stuff's always good to have on hand. Quite easy to find out here. I know it's not a real traditional meal. Let's see if I can even get this thing in here. But this cost me about $1.30. And it's actually really tasty. The seasonings and stuff in this soup, the oils and the, you know, you can see the freeze-dried vegetables kind of reconstituted. Adds a nice little touch. Alright guys, I'm gonna eat my lunch. See ya. So, the nice thing about the tomahawk is, I don't have to get in here with all these, you know, stickers and thorns and stuff. You know, you get a little extra reach with the tomahawk. And it's nice and sharp. Cuts right through it, of course. And there you go. Okay, so no big deal, but, you know, just trying to add a little more to the video. Learn something new every day. That works pretty good for stripping the bark off. Alright guys, so hopefully today I've got enough video of this thing at work to give you a good representation of what it's capable of. And I've had several people kind of you know, tell me about this hawk and suggest it to me. And you know, I probably should have got this off the bat. I mean, this is a really good tomahawk. It's very well rounded. It's got a nice big thick hammer pull on it, a lot thicker than the trail hawk, but it's got the blade profile of the frontier hawk, which I really like. And it's a little bit thicker than the frontier hawk, but not quite as thick as the spike hawk. I mean, it's really close, but I don't think it's quite as thick as the spike hawk is. So it's for finer detail work and stuff like that, I think it's a little better blade profile than the spike hawk, more in lines with the frontier. It's definitely a lot of mass on there. It is a little bit on the heavy side. If it's got a downside, that's it. It is a little heavier than some of the other Tomahawks, but you know, it feels really balanced, and it chops. You've seen it. I showed you I'll show you the videos of it. I think it chops really well. In fact, I think it's one of the better choppers that Cold Steel makes. So I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, I pretty much reviewed most of these guys, and I've said it all before. The same things I've said before can be said about this Tomahawk. I've had no real issues with the metal. This one I did pull a couple chips on it today. Not so much chips as maybe a little bit of dents. This log's been laying over for a while. This guy over here, this is kind of my fall down tree. It's kind of handy. It's got a lot of branches on it I can cut off. I went ahead and stuck this in a couple times, and there's some dirt, rocks, whatever. Whatever. I'm not going to hold that against this because I actually sharpened this with a pretty fine profile on it. And that's actually a little sharper than what I generally sharpen these Tomahawks to. I am a little blunter edge. They still carve pretty decent, but they'll hold up better to a swing. You know, and the thing is, you got to remember, these things, I mean, you can get so much momentum going with this. I mean, it's going to be hard for that almost knife-like edge not to dent or deform in some way. And I don't know if, you know, a better steel or something like that's going to be out there, whatever. I guess I'm kind of setting up, you know, a little rebuttal for the naysayers. In my mind, this isn't an issue, mainly because of the type of work I did with this tool today. And I don't think I should have sharpened it quite so sharp. I was being greedy with it. And anyways, enough of that. It's a great Tomahawk, and for less than 40 bucks, pretty much to your door, if you look around, you can have one too. And there you go. I mean, I don't know what else to say. What can I say? If you want to see some other Tomahawk uses and other ways that, you know, these things can be used for, you know, different things you can do out in the woods with them, check out my other videos. And thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, those of you that have subscribed. And thanks for leaving a comment. And that's about all I got to say. I mean, this is kind of the last one I think I'm going to review from Cold Steel as far as their Tomahawks go. I think I've done everything but the Rifleman Hawk. And who knows, I might do that one too, just to kind of check that block. But I think any of these Tomahawks will serve you well. And I think they'll last you a long time if you take care of them and you treat them properly. As you can see with this one, no major modifications. I left the paint on there. I left the handle, still got the factory finish on it. Just, you know, I haven't got around to dressing this one up. I've got a lot of projects on my plate right now. But anyways, alright guys, stay safe, practice your skills, leave a comment, leave a suggestion. Constructive criticism is always welcome. That's how we learn. And until next time, see you guys.